right, so I am on my way to the store. I have to grab a couple items for a dish that I want to make later today. But I just thought of, I get this question asked probably the most, is how I continue to stay motivated. So I thought, I asked JT, I was like, why don't we film a video today of how we both stay motivated, especially during this time, but also just in general. You know, I think that JT and I both come from like different backgrounds. He was a professional athlete. I wasn't always the most disciplined person. So I thought of an idea of like us doing kind of a video where we explain how we got to where we are and then also how we maintain it. Cause like you see so many people like posts of like, here's the steps of like how to stay motivated. Step 1, have an accountability partner, blah, 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 blah. But I want to go into detail of how I got to where I am. I wasn't always like this. So we're gonna do that today, but right now I'm gonna go to the store, so. All right, so like I mentioned today, I thought it'd be a really cool idea for JT and I to both put our perspective into what makes us motivated, how we kind of got to this place to be motivated, and kind of help you guys to the number one question I think we both get a lot is, how do you stay motivated? I think we'll go a little bit like into not a crazy backstory, but just kind of how we both grew up in a sense so you guys can see two sides, two different people, and how we're here now.
I grew up obviously as an athlete. I was playing sports by the age of 2. I was ice skating by the age of 3 as soon as I could walk. So my motivation kind of was built in with my passion. As soon as I started skating and started falling in love with hockey, my motivation didn't really feel like it needed to be motivation. It was more of a passion and a drive to want to play the sport. So I was able to get myself up every day and do the things that I needed to do and put in the work because it was something that really drove me and something that I really loved to do. When it came to eating, I was very lax with it because I had the ability to. So I didn't need to be motivated to eat the right things. I was able to kind of just do whatever I wanted because I was working out so much. And so that's something that I've had to switch and kind of hone in on, is my motivation towards eating the correct foods and eating clean. And I'm not perfect at it, but
looks at me like I'm judging him.
But that's something that I've really had to work on, is like, for me, it's not necessarily the motivation to work out. I have that motivation. It's more of like the motivation for the things that come outside of it. And I think we will dive into how I do stay motivated, but that is my background.
Yeah, I feel like I might do like a little Q&A to you because there's a lot of questions I have for you. So I feel like cool. I might just like ask some questions for all my peeps. So I haven't gone in depth about my whole fitness journey, which I will make a video for you guys exactly that, kind of just in depth. But I did grow up with a family who was super health and wellness and was super in the fitness space. So I definitely got to see what that looked like. Now, this doesn't mean that I was super disciplined or had a really strict routine when I was younger. I mean, I remember Quincy, my best friend, was like, Sammy, you like would forget your binder every day at school. And like, I was that girl who was just super unorganized, like didn't have my stuff together. So I was not always like this. So for anyone who needs hope, I got you. But I definitely had, you know, a fitness routine when I was younger due to my dad making sure I had one, I guess. So he kind of was creating that discipline for me. I think what changed is when I left my family's house to come out to LA to model, that was when I needed to make the decisions for myself and to continue that healthy lifestyle or go another route. So yeah, I think that's like a little glimpse of like how we had different routines and discipline backgrounds, but we both are here now. So, okay, so JT.
That's me.
How do you think you, like you said, you didn't always have the right eating habits. You definitely loved the working out part and as being an athlete, of course, but how do you think you pushed through not loving the eating part or not loving certain parts of it and keep going for people that aren't motivated all the time to do that?
Yeah, so I think a good thing to think about is addition and subtraction. I think that for some people, they need something that adds onto them and gets them motivated, something like a goal or something that makes them feel passionate, something that really excites them and gets them going. So you can look at like adding something like that to your routine. And then also some other people, it's subtraction. So it's looking at the things that are kind of holding you back, whether that's some sort of like personal stuff that you need to work through, whether it's some sort of like just feeling like lethargic and some like low energy stuff that you can work through, or maybe it's some like people in your life that are draining you or that are like bringing you down that aren't letting you feel energetic towards something. So self-awareness goes into both of those, but look at addition and subtraction, adding something or taking something away, and see if it helps you feel a little bit more motivated.
I love that. I feel like I was just, while you were saying that whole thing, and I wrote it down a lot, was self-awareness. I think that comes into play so much when I think about even my journey of like how I got here and how I continue to be here and choose this lifestyle, is being super self-aware.
I actually want to jump in on self-awareness there though, because I think self-awareness is immensely huge. If it's not the number one thing, it's definitely up there, because without self-awareness you can't self-evaluate and see like what are the things that are holding me back, what are the things that I need to work on, or you also can't tell like what are the things that I really love. Like can I do a personal audit right now and just kind of look at the things that I enjoy on my day-to-day, not that aren't necessarily work, aren't necessarily just for fun, but like what are the things that I'm naturally drawn to? And then how can I figure out a way to feel more amped up to do those things and to get that same kind of feeling from something that is work, or is work like working out or eating, or something that doesn't come natural to you. So self-awareness is very, very big.
Yeah, I feel like it could even be like a tip of like, say you loved Mother Nature, like you love outdoors. Okay, then you could probably make sure you do your workouts outside if you like to spend time outside. There's so many little things that you guys can evaluate and look at yourself. Someone else's routine is not going to be your ideal routine. So you got to look at your schedule, your lifestyle. You know, some people have kids, some people, whatever it is. So I think that's what I kept writing down too, was discipline was a behavior change and also a self-awareness change. So I really got to dissect. For me, I went through plenty of different types of workouts. I used to go to a gym with a trainer, then I would do classes, then I started doing my own stuff. So you guys kind of have to evaluate what works for you, but also what gets you excited.
Yeah, you gotta test stuff, because if you don't test stuff, then you don't know. And there's so many different variations of workouts and meal plans and diets, and like there's just variety. There's so many different things out there that you got to really figure out what works for you and not listen to what other people are telling you works for them. You got to try stuff. So if you're at that kind of initial phase where you don't know what's working for you, don't have that motivation, just get out there and try a bunch of different stuff. Give yourself 3 weeks to try 5-6 different workout classes. Give yourself 2 months to try 2 different diets and see how you feel with them, and then reevaluate and decide like, is this something that I want to do consistently for a long time, or is this something that I really didn't enjoy and isn't going to mesh with my lifestyle?
Yeah, exactly. I think too, when I think back to me coming out to LA and finding my routine, I have a lot of girls ask me like, who are in college or whatever it is, and they're like, I drink 3 times a week. And it's like, I know that's like, I don't know if that's a lot. Is that a lot? 3 times a week? I probably drink 3 times.
3 times a week is it depends where you're at in your life, but 3 times a week can be a decent amount.
But what I'm saying is that you guys kind of have to, again, evaluate your routine. So for me, it was evaluating when I was in LA back in the day, and girls would, I would sleep until like 11, and then I had to readjust that and be like, no, I'm gonna wake up at 8. If it's creating new habits that were old habits and creating those new ones that are actually gonna take you a step further, not all at once, you're not a whole new human the next day, but I promise you implementing those small little new habits will start to create that momentum of getting super motivated and excited for this new routine or this new lifestyle. It isn't an overnight thing. I mean, JT and I are still experimenting with things all the time. So I think, like you said, trial and error.
Yeah, I think you guys gotta really look at, why do you feel like you're not motivated? Because I think like at your very core, people are usually motivated. It's things that are kind of holding you back from being motivated. So do a personal audit of like, dang, why do I not feel like I'm wanting to get up and do things? And that's where that addition and subtraction comes in, of like, maybe I need to add something that's like fun, or maybe I do need to push myself and like get in the gym more, or like work harder on my diet.
Yeah.
Or it's the opposite, and it's I need to actually take some things out. I need to take out like, wow, I'm not feeling motivated because I am overeating. I'm eating way too much, and I'm feeling lethargic because of the fact that I'm eating too much. So you really got to do that personal audit and like have that self-awareness to understand where you're at.
Yeah, I think another thing that I was just thinking when JT was talking about this, I also started to become more disciplined when I did meet JT. He introed me into new routines, new habits. So I think also having a conversation with people that you inspire, or even like friends, family, trainers, whatever it is, and asking them for their best tips that fit for your needs. He had a lot of needs that fit mine, so it's kind of doing research and experimenting of what works for you. Also, you guys, I'm telling you, seeing so many girls that I've worked with, and even like my mom, for example, who has really gone hard in this whole quarantine thing. Once you get started and you are seeing what works for you, you will have this momentum that will keep you going, because you're gonna crave the feeling that you feel when you feel your best. I think a long time ago, when I would look at myself, I would envision my best self. And so it's kind of taking those little sprinkles of things that what that looks like to get there. So again, goes back to the self-awareness, but really looking at who is your best self. What does that look like? And you're gonna be really motivated when you keep envisioning that picture of who that person looks like.
I agree with that completely. I think like having the idea of like, what is the, you know, quote unquote best version of me look like? Like if I could reach my max potential, what would I be doing? Like how would my days look? What would I be doing for work? What would my body look like? How would I feel throughout the day? And then just trying to like climb towards that and keep working towards that.
You know, we could definitely give you, like, maybe we will right now, our top like 3 things that we do to stay motivated now that we've really realized our routine. We're disciplined, we're motivated, but how do we stay motivated, especially during this time in quarantine where things are very different. So I think we'll just sprinkle in those as well for like a 1, 2, 3.
I wouldn't say that I have like one overall one, but I would say like that we haven't mentioned, I would say self-awareness is the biggest one, but like little tips would be like, for me, something that helps me stay motivated is just continually having conversations with myself of like, how am I feeling? What's going on right now? If I'm feeling really low energy, like what's coming up? Do I have like a ton of emotions that are coming up? Am I feeling something that's getting brought up from the past, or maybe from the environment that's going on right now? But like, why do I feel like I'm not having a ton of energy towards this action that I'm trying to take? Being able to adjust from there.
I would say, to follow up on that, one of the things that helps me so much, like step 1, would be to set yourself up for success. So looking at a workout might seem like a really big task for you. For me, I've definitely groomed into it not being a huge task, but like when I think about going into my emails, I swear it feels like it's this massive, and I'm like anxietied out about it. I don't really like it. So we gotta kind of change that vision of what a workout is to you. And again, I'm still working on this with emails. I still get anxiety going in that inbox. But for workouts, think of it the same way. So how can you set yourself up for success? How can we make it not feel as anxiety or as like, I don't know what I'm gonna do, and you just show up to the gym wandering around. So I think setting yourself up for success is scheduling in those workouts, and scheduling in exactly what that workout is. Like, who is the workout you're doing? Is it saved? Do you have it lined out? Do you know what workout outfit you're wearing? Have those shoes already ready, socks, everything. Like, you don't need to think about it the next day, because it's all laid out for you extremely nicely. So I feel like that would be one of my number ones.
Another thing, that little tidbit that we could add, would be finding people to keep you accountable. So whether that's a friend, or whether that's a partner, or whether that's honestly a parent, or could just be a random person on the internet, like a person that you just talk to that's in a group chat.
What?
Literally could be like somebody in like a message board, or like in a group.
Oh yeah, that made more sense. You kind of made that sound a little weird.
Sorry, I didn't mean to say.
Random person in a chat.
But keeping yourself accountable is amazing, and if you are able to do that by yourself, that is fantastic, and kudos to you. But I know that it's challenging, especially with the current environment of everything that's going on. So finding somebody that you can bounce off of and be like, yo, let's get it today. Like, let's get after this. Like, let's get up. We promised ourselves we were gonna do this. So just finding that person that keeps you accountable will also be a big thing that can keep you motivated.
Am I that person for you?
No.
Dope.
Yeah, you are.
Okay, I feel like I'll just give one more to end the shebang. I think I kind of already mentioned it, but I'm gonna mention it one more time. It would definitely be to be self-aware of how you feel after a workout, after you eat that really good meal. Continuing to keep track. If that's like writing yourself a little note in your notepad, like, wow, I feel incredible after this workout. I have more energy. I'm gonna take a picture. Oh my gosh, I literally tell girls, take pictures. You don't have to send it to anyone. No one has to see it, but it's for your own like book of your journey to see that like it's paying off. You feel really good. And I'm telling you, people are gonna start to notice and you're gonna have this way about you. It's just this thing. It happens, I feel like, to everyone that really gets it going. So I think that was like a good little glimpse of how we stay motivated, how we kind of got to this place. It's always still a journey. We're still experimenting and learning ourselves, but I think all these tips have gotten us this far.
I agree.
All right, cool. Let me know if you guys like this video. Go ahead and give it a like if you did like it, and let me know as well what other videos you guys want to see. I am excited for the next one. Thanks for coming, babe.
Thanks for having me. Later.